Lauren, I was going to send you an email, but then I decided it'd be more fun to try out this record video from webcam thingy. So I'm doing that. So, I'll tell you a scary story about my mom's brothers, my uncles. When they lived in Colorado, they were little. They were watching TV. Their parents were out. My mom was out too, and one of my uncles had was laying like one was sitting on the couch and one was laying like this. Was laying like this, watching TV, and so he heard like bottles breaking in the basement, and they had a bunch of wine and stuff down there. So he's like, "What the hell?" And then he's like, "Come, listen to this." So uh, his brother comes down and he puts his ear to the ground, and then he hears like my grandma's sewing machine going off, and they're like, "What the hell? There's someone in the house." So they go over to the basement door. It's still closed, and they hear someone walking up the steps, and then it starts sounding like they're running, and it just gets faster and quicker up to the top of the steps, and then right when it gets to the top, it stops, and they run out screaming, and they run to the neighbor's house, and they call their parents or whatever. So that's epic. That would be so scary. I don't think I could ever handle that. And when I went to go hang out at a friend's house, and she had a ghost cat. Yeah, a ghost cat. So, like, their basement had, like, this little wall thingy, and we would chase, I don't know, there's a wall in the middle of nowhere, and we could go around it. So I'm chasing them, and then I see, like, this grayish cat, like, kind of see-through a little bit, but relatively solid. And he's just like this. You know? You know how they stop and they just look like that. So, yeah, that's what it was like. And I walk up to it because I'm like, I'm gonna pet it. And my friend was like, no, don't touch it. That's our ghost cat. I was like, oh, okay. And we continued to play. I don't know why. I was just never like, ghost, no way, run away, never come back. We were just like, oh, okay. I wish I would have touched it. Anyway. And then, the epic story of the general ghost. Okay, so we were living in this place here. I was maybe, I don't know, 8, 9 years old. 8, 7 or 8. 8. Anyway. There was, okay, how did it start off with? Well, we would just hear like dishes moving and stuff like that all the time, and I'd go out there to inspect the dishes, and nothing was moved. And things like the calendar would fall from the wall, but the tack would still be in the wall, and there was no rips in the calendar. What the fuck? And what else? I always had really bad dreams in that house too, like epically scary dreams, like Lord of the Rings, really demented. Really demented. So, yes. And then, the ants have dug a tiny hole in my wall, and now they are walking along my wall, going from somewhere to somewhere, and it's really bugging me. I'm gonna put tape over the hole and just ruin their entire world. Anyway. What else? One time my mom was talking to my stepdad, my ex-stepdad, whatever, and they were in the kitchen, and she felt something hit her back, and she looked down, like, she felt something hit her back and then go thump on the floor, and she turned around, and there was her ceramic clown, because she like collects these ceramic doll things. It was a ceramic clown, just laying there on the ground. Do you know where it originally was? It was on top of the TV in the living room. So it would have to have lifted itself up magically, and gone in a U shape to get over to the dining room. Actually, it'd have to be an L shape to get to the living room and hit my mother in the back. That's really scary. That just went shh, boop. No. No. And that was creepy. That's very creepy. And what else? Um, one time I was talking on the phone and cleaning the house at the same time, and I saw this bottle in my sister's room in the middle of the floor. And I was like, okay, I'm going to come back after I put all this stuff in my hands away and down, whatever, I'll come back for that. So, put it all away, I come back, the bottle's gone. I don't think anything about it. I'm just like, oh, maybe I picked it up and I put it somewhere else or something. Or whatever. So I'm searching around everywhere for this bottle, and I cannot find it for the life of me. And I tell my friend, what happened? Oh, I walked into, finally I just walked into the bathroom again for like the 50th time, and there it was, sitting on the sink. Just sitting there. Wasn't there before, now it was. Okay, now the two scariest stories about the general ghost. Okay, okay, before that, I would always hear my sister's rocker going, you know, those automatic rockers in my room. I would hear that. I would hear it going off, and then I'd walk out, and it would be off. It wouldn't be moving at all. And then like one time I woke up, and I heard like, I need something to knock against. I heard like, I was like, come in, and come in. I said, come in. Mom! 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 Yeah, I freaked out. And my mom came running into my room and was like, was that you knocking? And she was like, no. And it was terrifying. And, what else? Okay. Alright, the two scariest stories. Oh, good. I'm almost out of time. Okay. Okay. I was taking a shower, and no one was home. And then I get out of the shower, and I hear my mom come home, and she yells at me. She goes, Cassie, what did you do to Oriana's crib? My sister's crib. And I was like, nothing. What happened? And she's like, come out here and see for yourself. And I went out, put a towel on, went over there, and looked. Guess what it was? All of the bars had been pulled out from her crib. All of them. We couldn't, like, her and my stepfather couldn't even, like, put it back in. We couldn't even put it back, like, they couldn't get back together at all. And it was really creepy, and my sister slept with them in their room for a while, and they put tea leaves. Tea leaf, it's like a big green leaf, and you tie it around. It's a Hawaiian thing to keep away the bad spirits. So they tied it around the crib after that, once they finally got it back together. And then the second story, when I saw it. Okay, I like woke up in the middle of the night, no reason, and then I looked down at my feet, and there next to my closet is a ghost. He's sitting like this. It looks like he's sitting on an old-fashioned bar stool, and he's sitting there with his hands in his lap and his hat in his lap, and I could see little decorations, you know what I mean, the pins and badges on him, and he just sat there. And he looked right past me, like towards my bookshelf that was right next to my bed, and he was just staring. And I was not going to close my eyes, because I have this terrible fear of, like, opening my eyes and something being right there, you know? So fuck that. And, you know, I didn't pull the blankets over my head, because I don't want to pull down the blankets and something being right there! So, I just lifted up my knees till I couldn't see it anymore. And then I just tried my hardest to go to sleep, and I eventually fell asleep, and it was the scariest thing in my world. Oh, and really quick, we had a really big hole, like, in the side of our house, like, in the ground, and we didn't even know it was there, and it was there for the longest time. And then finally our neighbors had leftover dirt, and they filled up the hole. We filled up the hole, and once we filled up that hole, everything stopped. There was no more hauntings. Isn't that weird? Okay, that's my ghost stories. Hope you enjoyed.